Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started. Ready.
Oh, thank you. Hey, hello, welcome to Apex Racing's TV of the Radicals here at Hockenheimring. My name is Adam Thompson. I am joined by Sam Fitzpatrick. Sam, tell me, what are you thinking for this race today?
Yeah, should be a really good one. Another week of this Radical Racing Challenge. And yeah, at Hockenheim for tonight. And it is a very dark, initially at least. Should be getting lighter, I think, as the session goes on. But yeah, really big circuit course for these Radical cars. They really do well on both club circuits and GP courses. So yeah, should be another really good round of this official series championship.
You know, I don't really follow these cars that much. I actually have only driven them a couple times, so I don't quite know how the overtaking and all that works. Does this track lend you pretty well to good overtaking for these types of cars?
Yeah, I imagine it will do. I mean, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to overtake in this car. Draft effect's not hugely powerful, not as it used to be, but that long kind of parabolic corner heading up into the turn 6 hairpin should be a really good opportunity for the drivers to pull off some overtakes. So we're currently in the qualifying session, and at the moment in qualifying we've got Alfredo Malo at the top of the standings, and we've just got about 5 more minutes of this qualifying to go. And yeah, I mean, just a word on this circuit, Adam, because you know, when Hockenheim joined the service, I was a little bit not convinced by it, I must say, but I think turning some laps around here in a variety of cars, I think this is a very fun place to drive, particularly the stadium section near the end of the lap.
Yeah, no, this looks like a blast. I wish I could see a little more than I can, but this track here looks like these cars, they're like overpowered go-karts, basically. These things looks like they could just go as fast as they want, and they can also turn just about as well as they want or need to.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and low speed, maybe not the best cars, but when it comes to the high speed, you're absolutely right. It's really crazy how much speed these machines can carry. And of course, just a little bit of a reminder once again for everyone to try out the Radical. It is one of the best cars in the sim, and I'm 100% sure about that one. That is undebatable, absolutely. And so certainly do check it out in the near future, especially for this week at Hockenheim. Really good circuit to get yourself familiar with. Still Mallow at the top of the standings. I think some of the drivers just putting in their second lap times, and still a few more drivers to complete their lap times in just a moment. I think we've got live pictures from the circuit as well. Dylan Freckleton is one of the few to not have set his second lap time. Also Rodriguez up there in 5th place. And one of the things, Adam, that you will probably not be familiar with this car, albeit is quite familiar with other cars, I guess, is the second lap is always about half a second faster than the first lap. So it gets quite exciting at this point when we've got a guy like Rodriguez who was fast on his first lap, pretty much guaranteed an improvement on his second lap. He could be very dangerous through these last couple of corners.
Yeah, so explain to me, as well as everybody else that doesn't quite know or haven't really watched these vehicles, why is that second lap so much faster? Does that have to do with tire temperature, or is that fuel loss, or both?
I think a little bit of both, but overwhelmingly the tyres, as we see Rodriguez go very close to the top, but in 4th position. Good effort from him. But yeah, old tyre model on this car. So this is a very old car. I think it was brought to the service back in like 2010, which is years and years before myself at least joined the iRacing service, and not a whole lot of changes, at least to the tyres, ever since Stirl moves up to 12th position. But yeah, the second laps are way quicker, and even if they could do 3rd or 4th laps, then they would surely get much quicker after that as well. In fact, that qualifying time, that pole position time, will almost certainly be beaten come the race. And of course, the fuel as well will be burning off a little bit, and such light cars, having a little bit less weight on board is going to help your handling quite a bit. Everyone has completed their lap times, actually, so very good work, everyone. And so these laps that the drivers are currently on right now won't count for anything. This is their 3rd lap. They only get a maximum of 2 laps, so they're just trying to get in a little bit more practice around this very dark Hockenheim circuit. I said it would get lighter earlier on. I think this is how it's going to stay for the whole thing. It's just going to be a night race for this week's action.
Well, to everybody viewing the race right now on our stream, this is what these drivers are seeing as well. So, it's tough for us to see anything. Imagine, how they're going to feel, especially when you start getting into, this race isn't an extremely long race, but it's definitely long enough where you're going to have, you could start to see some complacency. I guess that would be the word, with how dark it is. People start to get a little bit out of sorts sometimes, and just kind of forget where they are on track. So this should be interesting. Here we go.
Yeah, we're about to get the grid up on screen, and there is Alfredo Mallow, who came very close to the race win last week. I think Mallow's a very experienced Radical driver, but we don't usually see him in the strength field race, so awesome to have him around. Then we've got Goiven, who we don't usually see either. He's up there in P2, but very competitive field tonight. And you can see how close those top 4 were. Thompson and Rodriguez in 3rd and 4th. Good to see Ruben Rodriguez back in the series. Then it's Anne Medema, Benz Nagy, Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Marek Studnicka. Studnicka has got a few poles this season. We really ought to see him. 3/4 of a second off the pace. Rafael Peone in 9th place. Then it's Fabio Berchtold, Simone Farmer, Gabriel De Rold in 12th. Then here's Martina Ward, Dylan Freckleton, Paul Taylor, Rafael Blanco, Ray Peasley, Santiago Leib, Ryan van der Vorst, Tobias Mertens, Johannes Hesterman, and George Palozzi running out this 22 car field. A quick question, actually, just before we go live, Adam, are you someone who turns up the gamma when it comes to races like this? Because if I were one of these drivers, I'd be whacking up that gamma so my eyes would be hurting, Frank.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be doing a little bit of something different. You know, night racing is great, right? But these drivers are also trying to win the race. So, yeah, you definitely be wanting to turn up the brightness about as high as you could get it to where the cars aren't blending in with the track. I know some people may consider that cheating, but I don't really think it's cheating. If iRacing offers it to you, then I'm definitely going to take that.
Definitely. I need all the help I can get. These drivers don't. 5 lights are on for this top split event. And away we launch. Mallow with a strong start. It looks like Graven stays in second place. A little bit of a slow start, I think, for Stanicki. He's very tight on the inside. That's going to be a dangerous point for him. He runs wide and nearly takes contact with a couple of other drivers. But it's Mallow leading the way ahead of Graven. Thompson in third place. So not many changes in the top 5. But now we have this long run up to the hairpin where overtakes are very possible.
Man, this is amazing. Going through Parabolica here up into the hairpin. This is where 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way, well, not all the way back, but I would say 90% of the cars going, maybe thinking about 3 wide here to the hairpin. It is going to get tight. Wow. Look at these guys go. Looks like our biggest mover so far, actually, Dylan Freckleton's moved up about 3 positions. George Pelosi back there in 14th place has moved up 8, so good for him. Great start.
Ooh, as there's a bit of contact in the background. It couldn't last for too long. Farmer and Live, I believe, making contact at the Mercedes grandstand. There has been a change for the lead as well. Mallow lost the lead, I believe, at the turn 6 hairpin, and so we've now got Goiben leading the way ahead of Thompson. However, one would think that he's probably going to be able to come back in play. But I did think that Mallow was under pressure, but I didn't expect him to lose 2 positions out of that. And it's almost a bit of a situation, but you have that Spa, where maybe qualifying can almost be, or qualifying on pole can be a bit of a disadvantage. There's such a long run early on in the lap. It's pretty much impossible to break the job before you get onto that long straight. However, Mallow trying to respond straight away.
Yeah, here we go. Man, if this is how this racing is going to be the whole time, I'm in. This is awesome. Awesome to see. It looks like these cars do rely quite a bit on the slipstream to stay close with the cars ahead. And man, if you are the car in first place, that is not looking like where you want to be, especially through Parabolica going into the hairpin here.
And this is going to be one position recovered then for Mallow. He was our pole, so to drop down to third on the opening lap, but he's back up into second. Excellent work from the Iberian driver. Derolled with a problem. So the Argentinian has dropped now to 14th. I think he was up into the top 10. Was Derolled for a bit, but he has lost out. And there's a couple of packs now, so they kind of got the top 8 are fairly in the same line. Then you got Peone by himself, and then you basically got Fickleton all the way down to Van Voorst down in 17th place in another pack, and then you got a few more near the back. So very close racing so far in the event, and this is going to be a replay of exactly what happened on lap 1 with this incident at the Mercedes section.
It was that Fama that just decided not to hit the brakes there.
Yeah, and that was, I think it was Live, and I think you spotted Palozzi as well.
Oh.
They all got involved, so those 3 of them still running, and actually not far off the pack, so they didn't lose too much time, which is good news. Oh, as Blancos had to come to the pits, the Uruguay driver must have had damage.
Well, it's looking like it, but yeah, no, see, you mentioned these 3 packs that have formed. That's a direct result of probably people trying to avoid that wreck on lap 1. Great avoidance on most people, but that's the chance you've got to take, or the consequence of trying to avoid that wreck, is you are going to be a little bit further off the pack, the lead group, but man, anything can happen. We're only on lap 3 here.
Moving up into 6th place there, that was Marek Studnicka. Already won a couple of races so far this season. Really quick in qualifying. He was, and well, I think I can say this, but I think Marek would agree. He was fairly rubbish in qualifying this time round compared to his other results. I'm sure he made a mistake because he is much faster than that, Marek. And of course, with the fact that the lap 2 is so much faster, it is important to nail that one. As we see, in fact, this is what happened to Palozzi a while back. This is the 19.
Whoa!
And in fact, that was him getting past, was that Fama maybe pointing? Oh no, I think it was Hesterman pointing the wrong way.
That doesn't, remember when I mentioned it was dark out here? That's not what you want to see coming around a sharp right-hand corner, our headlights pointing at you, going the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's certainly not good. It certainly reminded me of an anecdote that Marco Balvenier told me where I think there was an event hosted on Assetto Corsa, and I think they had to basically do the cameras by putting various cars around the track to use as cameras, and I think that'd kind of be a similar scenario to what we saw there. This is Blanco, I think, just going through the hairpin, and yeah, our system picking up him going very slowly because it is such a tight corner.
Looks, everything seems to have calmed down for now. You know, going through the middle of the race here, I think everyone's just trying to get their bearings, figure out where they are. As I say that, we've got someone going for a pass. Looks like Fama's able to get past Palozzi there.
Yeah, Fama qualified up in 11th as Freckleton, Taylor very close. But yeah, Palozzi, apologies, Fama started up in 11th place, so strong pace for him, but unfortunately got involved in incidents earlier on. Freckleton, I think it was the last round, maybe it was Hungary, which was about 2 months ago, I think now. But I think it was Hungary 2 months ago. Basically defending for the entire race. I think he's got a bit of a reputation for defending, and he is defending right here because Paul Taylor looks faster than him, but he is unable to get past at the moment, but that running wide for Freckleton probably won't help.
Well, it almost looks like he was able to gain a little time going wide there, able to get a much more acute entry into the final corner and get a run out of the corner. But, you know, Parabolica, anything can happen. The draft is crazy on these cars, which is what I'm starting to notice, and it doesn't even look like he's going to wait till then.
Yeah, just going for it straight away, and this will be a great opportunity for Nagy. Coming out of this one, he could have maybe been a little bit closer there, Nagy, but he'll be getting a toe of the pair of them, and now Taylor will go super defensive as he possibly can be. Nagy has been faster the last few laps.
Oh my goodness.
He is staying ahead, and look at that, Nagy trying to get alongside as well. That's a much better exit for the international driver, and he is going to move past Freckleton. They remain alongside, easy flat that corner in these cars, otherwise that would have definitely been contact, and he moves ahead, really good spatial awareness, and Freckleton loses a couple of places.
Well, if I'm Freckleton at this point, I'm not worried about it yet. I think he's going to still have plenty of time left in the race. We're not even halfway through yet, so just regain your composure and start moving back up the field again. And I have a feeling Freckleton seems like he knows what he's doing, as you've mentioned, his defensive driving, so he's out there for a reason. So this is going to be interesting to see what he can do.
Lets us know who you are supporting on the YouTube chat. Tommy Vitsons, great to have you along, watching along, Tommy. Supporting Martina. Hang on, where is Martina at the moment? Martina Ward in 15th position at the moment. And dare I say, I think we may have 2 women in this split, which would double our all-time record on Apex Racing TV for women in a race. So it would be properly amazing stuff, I believe, and Nadema is as well. So no, this is impressive stuff, and Martina's got a profile picture, and we love to see that on Apex Racing TV. Good to see people using the SDK Gaming driver information app. So great work. Here is a move potentially from Nagy. We saw him get past Freckleton a little while ago in a very similar manner to this. He was able to sweep around the outside last time. This time, he's going to have to place second best.
He seems to be knowing what he's doing to get these overtakes done. He's looks to be driving these guys deep into the corners, making them break late, and he's able to get the over-under completed. Oh, did he just touch the wall there? Somebody's got some
Very
damage.
close. Yeah.
Looks like Taylor's got quite a bit of damage there on the left rear side, behind, back of the car. Anyways, but here they go again. Again, Parabolica is going to be probably where Najee's able to get this done if he can't get it done on the front stretch, and Taylor looks like he is everywhere right now.
Much faster for Najee around that final corner. Kirikopoulos got past Studnicka, by the way, so I think maybe is it a mistake from Studnicka or just being outpaced? I think it was just being outpaced. To be fair, not having the top pace tonight, but I think you're right. Now Najee just lining this one up. Better run through turn 4, I believe that is. Apparently that's 3 corners right there. This is turn 5, Parabolica, and then we head into the turn 6 hairpin. It's just so wide, you cannot defend to save your life, especially in these fairly small radical cars. And Najee, who came very close to making the overtake on the last lap, he makes it stick this time, gets a very nice exit as well. So Najee up into 10th place, albeit 4 seconds to catch up to the next car, as Kirikopoulos, he's sliding about that Studnicka just behind him, and Kirikopoulos consolidating that move back to 6th place.
You know, I want to shout out Ann Medema up here in 5th place. We mentioned the women drivers. She's kind of in her own world up there, but she seems to be holding her own. Very, very good lap time, super solid time, so congratulations on her. But this battle between 6th, 7th, and 8th is raging on. I don't think this battle has stopped the whole race. If I'm one of these guys, I'm pouring sweat at this point.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this has been very intense so far from these drivers, and yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to catch up to Medema. Medema having a bit of a lonely race all by herself in 5th position. Quick shout out, by the way, to SDK Gaming. I was quickly saying about the driver information app, or if you go to sdk-gaming.co.uk, you can download that app, type in your information, maybe upload a profile picture like Dennis has there, and then we can show it on our broadcast. So absolutely go over to sdk-gaming.co.uk to do that, and I'll also check out all their other live timing, live HUD and broadcasting capabilities as well. Kirikopoulos having to go defensive, and he's got a poor exit from that corner. Studnicka with the inside, and then we have this pattern of driving that we've seen so many times today. The outside turning into the inside, but Studnicka much later on the bricks. He's carried good speed, and Studnicka moves back to 6th place.
This is just back and forth, isn't it? This is amazing and extremely clean as well, which you would expect in top split of official servers, but this is just an amazing thing to watch.
Our bubble has been burst. Ann Medema is not a woman. We apologise, Anne.
Oh no.
But say it wasn't double. We thought we'd absolutely smash the records on Apex Racing TV of 1. But unfortunately, it is just the one up there.
I think we are. I think everybody just. I was excited as well. You don't see women drivers that often here on in the iRacing server. But again, apologies, Anne. You're still doing great, even as a male up there in 5th place by yourself. So again, extremely lonely for you up there, but seem to be doing pretty well. The intervals, they just haven't really shrunk or gained much here for the top 5. Till that happens. This is what happens. Commentator curse. Thompson gets super wide. Rodriguez just drives right by him up into the podium position there, 3rd place.
Well, you managed to induce an overtake there, so thanks for that, because you're absolutely right, there wasn't a whole lot of changes. And now, will Rodriguez be set free? He is 2.2 seconds off the lead. Maybe he was being held up by Thompson.
I was going to say, it almost looks like Thompson just let him go, like knowing he's quicker. So, either case, Rodriguez is set free, and he's making some time. It looks like he's actually making some time up on these guys in 1st and 2nd.
Look at Taylor there, really going for an early apex into the stadium section. Grandstands around the track, but of course pretty much no opportunity at an overtake. It would be great to get the Rallycross circuit. They have pretty much modelled it, but you can't drive it, so it's a bit of a shame. But hopefully we do get that at some point. Taylor loses a bit of time around that final part of the circuit. It's interesting because, I mean, we've been talking about how strong the draft is so far in this race, but I mean, for the leaders, Goiven and Mallow can't seem to get within half a second, so you do get that draft around this part of the track, but it seems like the turbulent air is quite tricky through the final section.
Yeah, no, this is a great track in general, just for racing. It seems to lend itself to, you know, strengths and weaknesses, and the strengths of your cars, it definitely amplifies that, but it also amplifies the weaknesses as well. And if these things are not good in dirty air, this track with a lot of these high-speed corners you got to go through, that will affect the car to an extreme. But yeah, seems to be so far that gap between first, second, and third is actually between Mallow and Rodriguez is definitely starting to spread a little bit. It looks like these guys are just kind of in a race by themselves, and first and second at this point, but maybe, you never know, maybe Mallow's just holding on till the end here and going to decide to make a late lap or a late run. I don't know. Sam, how do the tires tend to hold up over 16 laps on these cars?
Not usually too bad a thing. I mean, we've done in the Apex Racing League Radical Series, as Peasley has had a problem. But we've had hour-long races in the past, and the drivers have done the whole race just on a single set of tyres. So 25 minutes in comparison shouldn't be too tricky. In fact, you know, even in this Radical, you actually change the fuel and the tyres at the same time. So it's only like a 2-second penalty, but it takes so long to warm up the tyres. As there goes Peasley, and wow, he did well not to go into the barrier there, because I thought that was a given. He's dropped, I think, 3 places because of that.
Here on board with Fabio Birchtold, and back to Peasley again. He's just, you know, trying to get his wits back about him and try to make up a couple of those positions he lost. It looks like he may only be able to make up one, which may be happening very soon here.
Yeah, Leib's got a bit of damage on the back of that car. It's super easy to pick up the damage. I mean, just the tiniest of taps and you kind of have that rear wing collapse. And he's alongside, he was quite a long way behind, but Leib left the door open, and now Leib moves across slightly, I think maybe trying to scare his opponent off, but that's not going to work, and they just about managed to go alongside there. Now Peasy, will he go for the cutback, will he go for the outside move? He's gone for the cutback, but that'll just turn into the outside for the next corner, as he runs a little bit wide, maybe having his turn in put off slightly, but well, that was very aggressive there from Leib, wasn't it? Trying to intimidate his rival when he was alongside.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it was. You know, just trying to rattle his cage just a little bit, but you know, this is virtual racing, so sometimes you're using your spotter, using your mirrors, using everything available to you, and sometimes you just don't know if people are there or not. So. But here we go, gonna go for it again down the front straight. He's gonna be close enough for the right-hander here. He's gonna go. No, he's not. Just gonna bide his time again.
That's that first corner not always being like that. Now it's like a super short radius, but it used to be more of a kind of flowing corner back on the old layout. And when it comes to overtaking that short kind of acute angle, it's absolutely dreadful for racing. It's quite annoying that they introduced that. It's a nightmare on that one as well. But yeah, maybe if it was a bit more of a sweeper, it would be easier to go for a move there. Drops a bit back in turn 3 and 4, but once again, Leib really leaves that door open, goes for a late apex, but Peasley isn't close enough to take advantage.
Well, don't look now, but it looks like Mallow was starting to gain some time, and as I say that, he's lost 2 tenths, unfortunately. But it looked like he was starting to push up there to get up, maybe break that bubble a little bit, as you mentioned earlier, but this time we're talking about it in a different sense, to get inside of that dirty air to try to start to catch Guven, and man, this gap just keeps fluctuating between 4 and 6 tenths, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems to increase slightly in sector 1, which is like the first corner, and then basically turn 1, turn 2, 3 and 4.
Has Guven just made a mistake?
Oh yeah, a bit closer now, using the draft effects. Not close enough, and now he's got to... you can get a little bit of a draft around this part of the circuit, so you won't get much of a negative here, and it's all about just trying to stay close in the stadium section. And be within about half a second coming out the final corner. He might be close enough while moving to the hairpin.
Following on here with Medema, looks like he made a bit of a mistake going here into one, off track, way wide. Great on him for being able to hold on to that thing. I would have been flipped around about 3 times and up and out of the arena going that fast around turn number 1.
Oh, Peasley just moving ahead of Live there. It was always going to be the hairpin where he was going to make the move, Live leaving himself so vulnerable. Lap after lap after lap. And Peasley, after that mistake earlier on, is up a position. Blanco and Palozzi also having a bit of a tight battle out there. A quick shout out, by the way, to Apex Racing Academy. Apex Racing Academy offering 29 data packs for a variety of cars. And they include single-seaters, GTs, touring cars, and also rallycross cars as well, if you're interested in that form of racing. In those data packs, you've got setups, you've got track guides, you've got weekly group coaching sessions, and it's also integrated with virtual racing school. Also got fantastic setup sync technology as well, where whenever you load up into the iRacing software, it automatically downloads your setups. It's a really nice kit to use. So do check out apexracingac.com in order to get yourself a bronze, silver or gold membership, as Live has got back past Peasley. Just that battle not ending with 16th place.
Speaking of battles not ending, 7th, 8th, and 9th, man, they've been going at this all race. This is intense, amazing racing by all 3 of these guys to keep it clean and battle. It's not for 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. It's for 7th, 8th, and 9th. But sometimes I enjoy just the battles on track. It's tough to find clean battles sometimes in these iRacing officials. So sometimes that's more fun than battling for a win.
I wonder if we could stay with this battle for a little while. This is a replay. I think this goes on for about 40 seconds or so. So it's absolutely crazy. This is Live versus Peasley, and they were just battling for about half a lap and just constantly changing positions. And now I think there's been a mistake from Peasley, which has dropped him slightly off the back. Farmer has taken advantage of this one. Here it was. He was going defensive, and then he gets a tap. Peasley runs wide, gliding round, and since then Farmer has actually got past Live, so Farmer has gained 2 places. Unfortunately, Peasley has lost 2 places. And he's made another mistake, it looks like, Peasley, so he's down to 20th place now, at an off. And also Farmer now having a slight mistake as well. So here it was for oh no, that's where he went off earlier on, and that's only has it.
Oh no. Yeah, see, he'd can't get lucky twice, I guess. That's unfortunate for Peasley, but next week is a whole nother week, new track. Let her happen next week. Man, this battle, 7th, 8th, and 9th is impressive. These guys just haven't given an inch.
Yeah, so we saw Kyrikopoulos started ahead, and then we saw Studnicka overtake him. Then I think Kyrikopoulos came back, and then Studnicka's come back again. For the last few laps at least, it's all been fairly consistent, and there's only one more lap to go after this one. Still the gap for the lead. It's a little bit closer now going on to the new lap. It's 0.5 of a second, the gap between the 2 leaders, with 1 lap to go. And on that last lap, Mallow gained by 100th of a second. It has been relentless driving from some of these guys. And I don't think Mallow's got enough, but maybe if we tune in on him, we'll see if he goes for a dive into the hairpin on this last tour of the circuit. Because if he's going to win this race, he's just got to send one right here, I think.
Yeah, that's out. If I'm Guven, I'm hoping he doesn't, but man, he's close. He's gonna just go ahead and let it happen here, but man, he is up there on his bumper now. I don't know if he's got any time doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, he had half a chance into the Mercedes grandstand, but he's just not there. I think that's literally as close as Malo has got, and you could see on the brakes he was almost touching the back of Goyven, but these guys have so much respect for one another. He's not going to go for an unreasonable overtake, and so I think Malo, despite taking that pole position, lost it on that one and just has not been able to take back the lead ever since. Was able to repass Rodriguez, but Goyven has not put a foot wrong, has barely missed an apex for the full 16 laps here at Hockenheimring, and he's going to round the final corner. The car number 1 is going to take the first position. Goyven wins at Hockenheim ahead of Malo. Rodriguez will finish on the podium. Kyrikopoulos coming under increasing pressure right at the end here, but I think he is going to be able to beat Berchtold. Not a long run to the line, maybe one more lap, and the Swiss drivers would have switched positions. And also a bit of a problem, I think, for Fama right at the end of that. We've got a car right off the circuit. Nagy loses the position to Taylor. I can't believe that Nagy drove so well to take that 10th place, and then he went off at the final corner and managed to lose it.
And did he lose it, or did he get helped off the track? That's going to be the question here, because,
so this was Fama.
Fama, yeah, just outbreaking himself.
Yeah, I think that was on live, so I don't think he lost any places, at least Fama. But, just going for the dive. That's what I was hoping Malo would do on Goyven, but he was too smart about it. Here is Palozzi. Incredible, everyone finished on the lead lap. And you can look high and low in an official series session, or a league session for that matter, for everyone to finish on the lead lap. So great, and these are the most fragile cars in iRacing probably. So really impressive stuff from the drivers there to all get to line. I imagine Palozzi will be very annoyed though, because he finished on the lead lap and will now lose about 60 odd iRating because of it. Goyven wins out though, 0.3 of a second ahead of Malo. Rodriguez was in third place. There was Thompson, Medema. Studnicka just didn't have the pace. Hopefully we get a chat with Merrick, because he's been probably the fastest driver this season. Apart from maybe Greg Seitz, but yeah, just wasn't around tonight really. Then there's Kyrikopoulos, Berchtold, Peone, Taylor rounding out the top 10, just about beat Nagy, which is a disappointment for Nagy because I don't know what happened at that last corner. I don't think it was under pressure, but totally misjudged it. Then behind him was Freckelson, De Rold, Van Vorst, Ward, Leib, Farmer, Hesterman, and then Mertens, Peasley, Blanco, and Palozzi. Rounding up 22 drivers. Now we usually get some interviews with the drivers, and I also will just give a quick shout out actually to Virtual Racing School. Virtual Racing School offering 50 data packs, and those data packs including setups and track guides and all that stuff, along with their fantastic data analysis software, telemetry software, which enables you to compare your lap times, your telemetry, to the telemetry of a pro driver, and it really does allow you to identify exactly how to improve out on circuit week by week as the official series roll around. So do check out virtualracingschool.com, and also check out the stream that we got next Saturday. Going to be a very fun stream from the Corby headquarters of Apex Racing UK for a special Virtual Racing School event. So check that out next weekend on the Apex Racing TV channel. Now, I deliver that bit of spiel, and I hope that someone has joined the interview waiting here, but no, we still do not have anyone who wants to have a chat with us yet. But I mean, we can still reflect on the race, Adam, because I thought that was, I've already hinted to it before, but just really high quality racing. I mean, good spatial awareness from the vast majority of the drivers, and just really high quality, consistent driving.
Well, I mean, the battles that went on throughout the field, it's just these cars, this track seems to lend great racing to these cars. I say great racing. Was there a whole lot of passing? No, but it was close the whole time. I mean, first, second, and third for a long time. And then Thompson started to come off the pace a little bit, and Rodriguez got around him and tried to push that pace. But, I think the draft probably did a little bit of something for guys in 1 and 2. But with Guven and Malo, they just every lap after lap were close and battling and keeping it clean, which is what you were saying. Not only was it good racing, it was clean racing. And, I consider, some people consider good racing different, but I would consider good racing clean racing. And 6th, 7th, and 8th, those guys, Studnicka, Kirikopoulos, and Birchtold, man, that was 16 laps of just absolute knockdown, drag out, back and forth, battling and passing. That was an amazing thing to see. And all the way back through the pack, we had Lieb and Peasley, fighting there for a little while as well. So no, it was great racing all throughout the pack, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
Definitely. And next round of the championship is a very different track to this. It is Alton Park, which has become a little bit of a familiar circuit for this series. I swear we visit there every season. I think it's just like the default free circuit. They like to include a few free circuits. So we visit there once again. It's the island layout, which I believe is the one with the hairpin in it. So you kind of go left through Cascades and then go to the hairpin, which is like a double apex hairpin. Adam, I don't know how much experience you've got around that circuit, but it's very different to this one, and honestly, near on impossible to overtake. I mean, we saw the drivers not find overtaking super easy around here tonight. Imagine Alton Park, super narrow, very few braking areas, and qualifying will probably be essential around there.
Yeah, Alton Park, I have actually run that in some GT3s, and I run some Miatas around there as well. The Miatas are definitely a lot easier than the GT3s around that track, but because the track is much smaller, as you mentioned, and the braking zones, there's one, like you mentioned, there's a hairpin, but that is going to be probably the most opportunistic time to make an overtake around that track, and you cannot, like we mentioned tonight, the slipstream that these guys were getting, through the final corner into one, and then through Parabolica into the hairpin, that was able to help these guys sneak up or suck up a little closer to the guys in front of them. But you're not going to be able to really get that in Alton Park. You're not going to get the speed that you were able to get here. But it's going to be, again, close racing, I'm sure. These guys in this split have done a great job to get themselves here, and I wouldn't expect anything less than what we saw tonight.
I sure hope that we see similar level of driving next week, and Alton Park will be super tricky to overtake. I remember when we've gone for pretty much the easiest to overtake layout, the one without the chicanes on the back straight, with the old draft model, where the draft was insanely powerful. Even then, it was tricky to overtake, but mistakes are easy to be made. So hopefully that will sort of open it up and allow for some changes in the order as the race progresses. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got any drivers coming in for an interview. So if anyone of the drivers are listening back to this, come have a chat with us next week, because it doesn't matter if you finish first or if you finish last. We like to have a chat with the drivers. It's great to get to know you guys better, and it'd be really good to have you up here in the commentary box, no matter what's happened in your race. So do that maybe for next week perhaps, and we can have a few interviews post race. But I think that will pretty much wrap up this broadcast then. So once again, thanks to SDK Gaming for providing our overlay, and also Apex Racing Academy and Virtual Racing School for sponsoring this series. Of course, do make sure to leave a like on this video if you have been enjoying it. Subscribe to Apex Racing TV, and also check out our Twitter, Instagram and Facebook pages as well, where we are posting constant highlights and updates of what is happening on Apex Racing TV. We've got lots more broadcasts coming up in the next few days. Tomorrow we have got the Formula 3.5 official series. On Sunday we've got IGP Fun, We've also got the Spec Racer Ford Series. On Mondays, we've got ARL Radicals. Tuesdays, we've got ARL GT3 Pro Trophy. Wednesdays, we've got Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. So lots of stuff to look forward to on Apex Racing TV over the next week. And of course, do make sure to check in to this Radical official series next week. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Adam Thompson, and from Mike Yor as well, we thank you for joining us in the for this broadcast, and we'll see you back next time at Alton Park. See you then.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers, including Peter Berryman, John Robertson, Brandon Trano, and IndyCar World Champion Alex Palou. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.